Disclaimer alert. Before I start with any of the content, I need you to understand that the content that is filmed in this page is mostly designed for educational purposes. Should you have any medical condition that requires to be assessed and treated, please consult your local chiropractor or your local general practitioner for proper medical evaluation and diagnosis.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Tell Me Something Interesting. I am your host, Dr. Wawud Lamini, your local chiropractor practicing in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. Alright, so in this very first episode, we are just going to highlight the basics. I'm going to tell you more about my profession, what it exactly is and what it entails, because I know a lot of you have so many questions. Even when I was studying, a lot of people would come to me and be like, what exactly do you do? Like, what are you studying? And others even have had difficulty pronouncing the word chiropractic. So this first episode, we're just going to deal with my profession, and hopefully in the next couple of episodes, until I feel like you guys have all your answers, your questions answered, and we are already on the same level with regards to chiropractic. Okay, all right, so the first question in your head is, what exactly is chiropractic? All right, so chiropractic is a profession that deals with manual therapy. So it's mostly manipulations of the spine. So we believe that the body has the ability to heal itself. I think most people actually know that. We know that the body was created in such a dynamic way that it is able to heal itself. So what we essentially believe in is that when some things are in misalignment in your body, then that will cause disease. And then in order to eliminate disease, we need to re-establish proper alignment in your body. So that will include alignment of your bones. It will include alignment in terms of your muscles and whatever else may be going on in your body. Okay, so we are mostly called musculoskeletal specialists. That's because most of the issues that we deal with in practice are muscular related or skeletal related. Yeah, let me address all the different forms of treatment that are available to the public that are offered by chiropractors in another video, in a separate video. But in this video, we'll just mostly tackle what chiropractic is. Okay, good. So now you're thinking, okay, I get it. There's muscles, there's bones, and whatnot. So who can benefit from chiropractic? Like, who needs to see a chiropractor? Okay. So a chiropractic is a family profession. So basically everybody, from the youngest to the eldest. And in our days, a lot of us are always on our gadgets, facing down, contributing to poor posture contributing to musculoskeletal issues. In fact, low back pain has been among the rising and leading pandemics when it comes to disability, because so many of us are now having problems with back pain, especially low back. So it's becoming like a cause of concern in the society. So making sure that you take care of such issues, not just when people are older, but when even like when you're younger, for young people and whatnot, is very essential, because this can be like a cause of like proper disability in the future. Okay, so yes, so we treat young ones as young as babies. You have some pediatric chiropractors. I am personally not a pediatric chiropractor, but you do find pediatric chiropractors. There's chiropractors for athletes specifically. I am more holistic. Yeah, I do treat athletes and just regular people, your day-to-day office people, people with an office job, I mean to say, and then any other job. Yeah, so it's basically for the whole family, so everyone can benefit, because we all need to make sure that our spine is aligned, and we're all always moving around carrying heavy things and doing so many things in our lives. So yes, you could benefit from chiropractic treatment as well. All right, what other question do people ask me a lot? So we are the people to go to when you have muscle or joint aches, pains, and you're not sure what exactly is going on in your body. Okay, and then the second most asked question is, what do chiropractors do? So chiropractors, they mostly adjust, they manipulate or adjust. So the term manipulation or adjustment refers to that cracking that happens when a chiropractor is realigning your joints that have been misaligned. Okay, So that just helps to relieve stiffness in joints. It helps to ease tension in the joints, which helps the overall mobility of your joints. And then this can help you feel better and also release the tension in the muscles. Because sometimes muscles are also tensing up because they're trying to guard an area because maybe your joints are sprained and whatnot. So yeah, that's mostly what we do. And then chiropractors are divided into two. So you have two types of chiropractors. You have straight chiropractors and mixers. So I know some people will go to a chiropractor and be like, oh my gosh, I was in there for 2 minutes, I was in and I was out. So that is mostly with your straight chiropractors that just mostly believe that manipulation is the only, or spinal adjustments or the cracking is the only thing that your body needs in order for it to stimulate self-healing, because chiropractors believe very much in the body's ability to heal itself. So straight chiropractors mostly just do the cracking. They will crack you up and then you'll be good to go. And then you have mixers. Mixers are chiropractors that will use both um, the cracking method, where they align your joints, and other things. So you'll find that they'll also use tens during the treatment session. They'll do what we call dry needling. They'll do other things to help in facilitating the healing process. Okay, so depending on the type of chiropractor that you got and where they're practicing, but most chiropractors practicing here in South Africa, I know, are pretty much mixers, because that's what we were taught in university. All right, and then that brings us to the second question. Second question is like, where did you guys study? Like, who said you guys can be doctors? All right, so we started most chiropractors that are here in South Africa, but we also have chiropractors coming from overseas. But here in South Africa, we have the University of Johannesburg and DUT, which are institutions that help people who want to enroll in chiropractic. And chiropractic itself is a 6-year course. So I believe it has been revised though, so I'm going to look into the revised version. So you have like an undergrad, but you don't really graduate after your undergrad. Oh, at least we didn't, but I know that now it seems like they can. I'm not really sure. So I'll look into that for you. If you're interested, just leave me a comment down below, and then I'll look into it and I'll make another video and address it in the next video. But anyway, so we have an undergrad where we study the basics, physiology, anatomy, biomechanics, and the works. We also do some pharmacology as well, just so that we can know how different drugs react in the body and interfere with your body, so that we can know that some symptoms that people get are not necessarily because they themselves are sick, but they are normally symptoms that arise because of a medication that they are on. So we need to be able to distinguish the two and know when we can help and when a problem is not really necessarily due to the person's body just having a dysfunction, but it's mostly due to like drug interactions or pills or medicine that is like interacting in the body and causing certain symptoms. Okay, so we did pharmacology and we did like several other modules, and if you're also interested, I can get like the whole list if you like curious and want to know what goes on. Disclaimer, not disclaimer, I must also say that if you are very sensitive and you're scared of like things that are a bit more like dissection is when we actually use human bodies to learn about anatomy. So we have like a dissection hall where we go in. There's basically people who donated themselves or donated their bodies before they passed on to be used for research and for educational purposes. So we do that. I know that in the first year, a couple of people actually dropped off when they found out that we had to do dissections, because they did not like the idea of having to dissect or cut through a person who is already like deceased in order to learn for educational purposes. So if you're a little bit sensitive and you don't think you'd be able to stomach that, please be aware that although chiropractic doesn't really involve a lot of like hospital stuff where we are seeing blood all the time and people who are terminally ill, we do have to do dissection during the first few years of studying for anatomy as part of our anatomy module. So you need to be aware of the fact that you might be exposed to that. It is worth it at the end because textbooks don't always look, well, they won't look like the actual specimen or the actual person. So it's nice to actually have the actual human body to learn on, touch and feel and see how things actually look in real life. So just a heads up for anyone who's interested and but is like super sensitive. And then also in I think it's in fourth year. In fourth year, as part of our training to practice diagnostics, we do go into hospital, but we don't go there to diagnose and treat. Okay, we do go there to diagnose, but we don't go to treat. So we just basically go into hospital, um, take case histories, do physical examinations, and do differential diagnosis so that we can try to figure out why the person has been admitted to hospital. So that's the time when, as a chiropractor, you'll probably be exposed to like a hospital setting. Also there, I know that some people really do not like hospitals, so you have to kind of grow a thick skin just for that period of time, because I remember I was also very like sensitive during that time. I don't really like seeing people who are very sick or like terminally ill and people who are in like severe pain. I'm like a sensitive person, so it like hurts. I know I'm like a doctor, but like it hurts. And so every time we went to hospitals, I would literally feel sick, like sick in my body. Like it was really bad. But it was a phase or a time that I had to actually just go through, and I knew it was going to be short-lived. I didn't have to do hospital rounds once I had graduated. So it was just something that I felt like, you know what, I can do this just for this year. So every time we went into hospital to practice our diagnostic skills, I was always coming back feeling very sick. But like, so that's just something to watch out for if you're a sensitive person like me, and but yet you're intrigued by chiropractic and really want to study it. This I know definitely happens in DUT and in UJ. I wouldn't know if you want to study chiropractic overseas. I've never been exposed to their syllabus. I don't know what they go in depth, what they do in depth. So if you would like me to do a little bit of research in case you're interested, but you feel like, okay, maybe if I study somewhere else, we won't have to do any of these hectic things that I feel like I'm a bit more sensitive to, I could definitely look into it for you. I don't mind. Just let me know if you're interested. Leave me a comment down below and I'll definitely be sure to tackle that. All right. So what else? So yeah, that's basically more or less what to expect. Plus there's research attached to it. Okay, by research I mean you have to publish, cannot publish, but you have to do a thesis or a dissertation. Correct me if I'm mispronouncing any of this to all the scholars out there. So basically, yes, you do have to do a research. You pick a topic of your interest, find the gap in literature, and then have a concept paper. Once it's approved, you start doing your research. You can either do, like, you can do whatever kind of study you actually want. You can do a clinical trial, you can do a questionnaire, you can do an interview kind of setting. What do they call those? I've forgotten how they divide it into all these different categories. So you do whichever you fancy and whichever you're comfortable with. And of course, during the last 2 years of your studying, you will be working at the chiropractic clinic. This is where you are able to get more clinical experience. Okay, but you're working under the guidance and supervision of qualified chiropractors. Okay, so you do this for a period of 2 years where you're studying. In fact, until you finish your dissertation, because sometimes research can take a while depending on what kind of research you're doing, and you know how long it takes for you to get like a good topic and get that good topic approved and whatnot. So it can take a while. So during that time when you're waiting for your research and whatnot, and you have like a specific number of patients you have to see before you graduate. So while you're doing your research, you're also working on your patient numbers and whatnot. So we were blessed during our time to have like several sports events where we can also go and practice our diagnostic skills and our examination skills. Um, I'm sure they still have some sort of program that has to do with that. Otherwise, yeah. So you'll be in clinic during the last years of your study, and you will also be expected to do a thesis or a dissertation, do your write-up and do whatever, and then of course it will be available at the DUT library for whoever wants to read, and you do have the option to publish it. So if you want it to be like officially published in whatever journal, you can figure out what the people in the journal want in order for you to publish the structure that they want you to have your thing in your what do you call this? I think it's like a journal article, your article. So you need to find out like which journal article you want to publish your article in and whatnot, and then the structure they want, and then obviously go through the process, do that, and then if they approve of it, then you can get it published, which is pretty cool because if you're interested in research, you can continue and just go deeper into research, or you can come through and practice, or you can do both. So you have like quite a number of options that are open to you, which is pretty cool. All right, so before I go on a tangent and just get lost, let's go back. Okay, there's like notes here so that I make sure I stay on track. So please don't get like, what is she looking at and why does she keep looking down? So I just have like some points that I wrote down so that I'm able to stay on track and so that I'm able to cover everything that I feel like we need to cover today. All right. So the next question here is, who needs chiropractic treatment? So some people would ask, do I need to come? Like I am feeling hundreds, like, but I'm interested and I'm curious and whatnot. Well, chiropractic is for everybody. By everybody, I mean from the youngest to the oldest in the family. And if you someday just feel like, you know what, I don't have any aches or pains or whatever, but I would like to go in and just get aligned, of course you can. Come through, we will examine you and we will adjust you. And some people even like marvel at how much how much they sleep can improve after getting chiropractic adjustments, you know. It's really like really nice for your overall health, overall well-being. And also if you're someone who works out, you will see that you will like move better in the gym. And sometimes like some people who struggle to do dip squats, it's not necessarily because you have like tight muscles, or okay, maybe you can have tight muscles, but other issues sometimes can be your joints that are like stiff and not moving the way they're supposed to. So getting adjustments can actually help in some cases to relieve that tension in the joints, and then you're able to dip squat the way you want to. So please, feel free. Even young children, our children are involved in soccer and in sports basically, and they carry such heavy bags at school because of the big books that you guys take them to school with. Well, I know that it's not your fault, but like I know I used to carry a really heavy bag as well, but like all that can just contribute to straining the spine like a lot. And you find that even little kids like who are still in school, like high school and primary, complain of low back pain and whatnot. So if your child is complaining of low back pain, why not come through and let's see and have us examine your child and see how we can help your child. Okay, so yeah, it's for everybody, from athletes to um, the old ones, grandparents. You know, I know sometimes people are like, oh, you deal with joints and back pains. Oh, that is so lovely. So you treat old people. You would be surprised how many people complain of low back pain that are not old, that are young, because we're so busy. There's so much we do. We have so many activities we're busy with. So definitely getting adjusted will help. Okay. So anyway, let's go into what to expect. So what to expect if you visit a chiropractor? All right. So during your typical first visit, I'm going to talk about the first visits, and then I'm going to talk about the follow-up treatments or visits. So during your first visit, you're going to sit down and the doctor is going to ask you several questions. So this is called a case history. So the doctor is going to take a case history. This is where they find out like where it's painful, how long it's been painful, what kind of pain you feel, all sorts of questions surrounding the pain and everything else. And then they're also going to take like a history regarding your medical health. So they're going to find out if you have any chronic illnesses, if there are any illnesses in your family that run in the family, if there's anything that should actually be of concern before we move forward. And then obviously we're going to take your vital signs to make sure that everything is going well. And then we're going to do a physical examination. So we're going to assess your back or your joints, whichever joint, your shoulder, your knee, whichever joint is of concern. Do a couple of physical tests to see if we can establish the cause of your pain. And then after that, once we've established what is wrong, come up with a diagnosis, and then we come up with a treatment plan. So we will decide what we feel will be best for you during that consultation. So then we treat you, and then after that we book a follow-up session for you, not just because we just want you to come back, but because sometimes it takes time to correct issues that are musculoskeletal related, because we use the musculoskeletal system all the time. We are always moving, sitting, doing something, So it might take more than one treatment in order for you to get complete relief, or in order for you to go back to feeling hundreds, okay? Or for us to fix that muscle or joint problem that you're having, okay? So it's also like if your muscles are just having issues, we will have to literally kind of like rehabilitate that muscle. We'll do dry needling, give you whatever PNF stretches to do at home, and maybe we'll also give you some strengthening exercises if we feel like some muscles are weaker than others, and then this is causing you issues. So it's a whole thing that we have to like look out for and make sure that we get done so that you can live a pain-free life. So yeah, and then let's go into the next question. How often do I need to see a chiropractor? Okay, this is literally the last question that I wrote down, but you can obviously send me any more questions that you guys have about chiropractic, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. These are the ones that I could think of today and for today's episode. So let's answer the last question. How often do I need to see a chiropractor? So honestly, how often you need to see a chiropractor if you are not in pain is entirely up to you. You can come through once or two times a year just to check, make sure you're aligned, and we check your muscles to see if everything is balanced and everything is firing properly. And if you're fine, yes, it's okay. 2-3 times, once a year, whichever you can afford according to your affordability. If you do have, however, a problem, then you might need to see us for a certain number of appointments until that problem is alleviated. Then once you're pain-free, there is no need to keep going to the chiropractor, just for whatever reason. Then you can just stay at home, do whatever you need to do, and then maybe like after a couple of months, if you feel like, oh, I could use like an alignment, because I slept better and I feel so much better after seeing my chiropractor, then you can come through, of course, and we'll assess you, and we'll do like maintenance treatment, because we do have maintenance treatment where we just assess your muscles, assess your thinking, your joints, and just adjust you, treat whichever muscles, and then give you whatever we feel like you need to do, whether dietary advice or exercises that we feel like you need to do, because when we were assessing you, we found that there was some sort of imbalance or whatever. So yeah, otherwise there's no need to stress and worry like I need to always see a chiropractor 4 times a year or once a month, otherwise my pains or aches are gonna come back. Honestly, that is not scientifically proven to be so. So if you've heard that being said, I don't think it was really based on any scientific evidence. But I stand to be corrected. If there is scientific evidence that backs that up, then of course, please do leave it down below. Leave me a link to it. I'll read it, and then I'll use whatever skills I have to assess articles and research to see if I feel like the study that was done is thinking is what is that word? If I feel like the study that was done is really like valid, because like there's so many things that you need need to look at when you look at a research study. You know, you don't just have to look at it like, oh, they did this and that, and this was what they found, and this was their conclusion, or this was their hypothesis, and then this was their conclusion. You need to look at the sample size. You need to look at the kind of method that was used to collect data. So there can be so many things that affect the credibility of a study. So yeah. But anyway, if you have any questions or any study you'd like me to look into and give my opinion with regards to the study and how it was done, what I feel or think about it, then please do let me know. Otherwise, I think for today we will call it a wrap. Let's not overwhelm you with information about chiropractic on the first episode. So if you do like what you heard and you are interested in finding out so much more about health issues and health related topics, please do click the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next upload. I will try to upload about 1 or 2 videos per week depending on how busy practice gets. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you again, and please do give me feedback if you feel like there's something I can improve on or you'd like me to work on. If it's sound, if the volume is too low, if it's whatever, it's okay. I'm open to your suggestions and your opinions and your thoughts and your queries. I look forward to seeing more of you. Thank you. Bye.